Hey Trilogy members, hope everyone is doing well. I know trying to keep everybody occupied here. Thought I'd invite you guys over to my house. My name is Greg. I'm the lifestyle director at Trilogy at Vistancia in Phoenix, Arizona. And outside of playing hockey, my passion is cooking. And on Fridays at my house, we like to do a thing called Pizza Friday. And you name it, we do pizzas of all sorts. Wood burning oven, pizzas on the barbecue, pizzas in the oven. But this Friday, we're going to do flatbread pizzas. And there's a number of ways you can do flatbreads. You can be super creative, and it's really easy, it's really fun, and it's a lot less work than doing the whole full pizza blowout. So let me show you what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce you to all the different ingredients that we're going to use for the 4 flatbreads we're going to do today. And we're going to show you each one how we make them. We're going to give you the recipe. And then from there, you can do a number of pizzas on your own. So let's get started. Let's make some flatbreads. We're going to have some fun. Super easy. And again, I'm going to send you all the information so you have everything. So first of all, a lot of this stuff you can do is actually in your pantry right now. You need very little. But again, you can do flatbreads. It doesn't mean that you have to use a flatbread. You can use all kinds of breads. You can use French baguette, you can do English muffins, you can do pita bread. Some of the breads we like to use one is your Middle Eastern flatbread, or our favorite that we get at Trader Joe's is lavash bread. Now lavash bread is a different type of flatbread. You can either get it in whole wheat or flour, but this is the one that we're going to be using today. Great bread for a number of reasons. One, turns into kind of like a cracker, so real easy to use and eat with your hands. Also, it's unbelievable for sharing, so that's the best thing about it. So, a few things that you can find in your pantry or in your refrigerator or that you can pick up at the store are these products. I'm going to start first of all with the sauces. So first of all, you can either buy sauces. You have a number of different sauces at a number of providers. I like to make my own pizza sauce, especially after working in Italy. You use San Marzano tomatoes. Very simple. It's a can of tomatoes you can get in almost every grocery store. You want to get the whole tomato, and you want to crush them yourself. And when you're crushing them, you're adding sea salt, and you want to actually infuse some basil in there as well. We're going to be using barbecue sauce. We're going to be using a very, very nice extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to be using a pesto for one of our pesto pizzas, which is a lot of fun. Dry rubs, very simple. A good fine sea salt is needed for your focaccia bread that we're going to make. Dry rosemary is also very important if you're going to do a focaccia bread, or you can add that to any of your flatbreads. Again, we like to use fresh herbs, and fresh herbs, either organic, you can get them at a number of your farmers markets, especially if you're living out in California. Actually, living everywhere. You got some great farmer markets there. Want to support those farmers. But again, we got fresh basil here we're going to be using today. We've got some fresh cilantro that we're going to be using. We've got some heirloom tomatoes. That's going to be going on our pesto pizza. So we got them cut. You got some nice colors there. We're going to be using some red onions, which are going to be another nice addition to our pizza. We're going to be using meats. Again, you can use a lot of different meats, but we're going to be using a roasted chicken here. Nice thing about a roasted chicken, you can get them almost at every grocery store, Sam's, Costco. You want to roast your own chicken. And what you can do, you can make chicken salads, you can make chicken sandwiches. But again, all you have to do is cut some up and throw it on your flatbread. Cheese. Cheese is an important part of your pizzas and your flatbreads. We're going to be using a heavily grated mozzarella cheese that I did. It's coming from Wisconsin, Dairy State. And then we're going to be using on one of our flatbreads mozzarella, buffalo mozzarella. It's actually little pearls. And again, there's no art, there's no roadmap. It's just a lot of fun. It's being creative. And so these are the 4 pieces we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to also share some recipes of some sweet pizzas that my wife loves to do, who's coming from Brazil. So with guava and mozzarella, or Nutella, or dulce de leche with bananas, with cinnamon and mozzarella cheese. Those are also some great sweet pizzas, and we're going to save those with you as well. So let's get to work. Let's start building some pizzas, and we're going to show you how we do it at the Snyder's house. So everybody, let's go. All right, folks, we're going to start with the first one. This is actually a focaccia flatbread. Very simple. Extra virgin olive oil right here. We're going to spread it on there, and we're going to use a small brush to finely brush it across your flatbread. This is super easy to do. Again, this one is great for everything. For if you're doing lasagna, you're doing pasta at home, you're doing a caprese salad, and you want some carbs, you want some good flatbread. This only takes about, anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. Get it nice and like a cracker. Then what you're gonna do, you're gonna add some fine sea salt to it. Fine sea salt. Again, this is one of our favorites to do when we're doing charcuterie or having a cheese board. Then we're gonna add some dry rosemary. Very simple. Again, this turns into a wonderful, wonderful appetizer. It goes great with wine, I can tell you that. So, anyways, there's our first bread. That is the flatbread focaccia. So there we go. Let's pop that bad boy in the oven and we'll get on with the next one. Your traditional margarita flatbread. This one, everybody loves. Kids, you name it, everybody loves this one. So anyways, and you can tweak it as much as you want. So I like to make my own sauce. So again, I take a can of San Marzano tomatoes, throw it in a bowl, add some extra basil to it. So adding the extra basil to it, and again, you want to bruise the basil so those aromas and those flavors come off into your tomatoes, and then you're going to add some more sea salt. I normally add about a teaspoon of sea salt. I've actually already hand crushed these about 15 minutes, and what I do, you're going to always have a chunky consistency, but those acids are going to release with the basil and the sea salt, and it's very nice. So I like to take a spoonful or a spoon and a half, add that to your flatbread, very simple. And what you want to do, you want to spread that out. You always want to leave a little extra edge there, something to grab onto. And again, you don't want to overdo it. If you go to Italy or you go to a lot of countries, you're going to see their pizzas aren't, piled up with 15 pounds of toppings. So again, it's all about the flavor, adding the flavors. And again, there's no SOP on how to make a pizza. You got to be creative, got to enjoy what you're doing. You want to get those different flavors in there. So again, we throw there's your basic tomato sauce. Then we're going to take some fine, heavily grated mozzarella. And again, we don't overload it. And we're going to add that mozzarella there just like that. You don't want too much onto the pans. As you can tell, all the pans that I'm using have tin foil. Why? It's easy for cleanup. That's the best thing. So we're going to add a little bit of fresh basil all over it. So you can see some fresh basil that I finally chopped earlier. Again, there's no roadmap on where you want to put it. You can rip it up, get those flavors added, and then I always like to add a little bit of extra dry oregano. There's a great flatbread. Again, a lot of fun and something that everybody likes to eat. All right, for the next flatbread we're going to be doing the Heirloom tomato pesto flatbread. So this one is my wife's favorite. This one has pesto that you can get at a lot of different purveyors. Again, Sprouts, Trader Joe's, your local markets. Even if you want to make your own pesto, feel free to do that as well. So very simple, pesto on your flatbread here. This is a really tasty pizza. Great with Sauvignon Blanc white wine. Then what we're going to do is we are going to take some beautiful Heirloom tomatoes and we are just going to place them all across your flatbread. Just like this. Again, there's no certain roadmap. You can do it how you want. We're going to add those all over the pizza. And there we go. This is a fun one. We're going to add a little dry oregano on top of it as well. Going to add some fresh basil. Again, basil on everything. It's unbelievable. Again, how you want to put it. You want to place it all over there. You want little valleys, little pockets of flavor everywhere you go here. And then last, what we like to do here is, you got a bunch of different kinds of cheeses that you can use. Here we're using a buffalo mozzarella. We're using pearls, and you just place those on those on the flatbread. They'll spread out. You're gonna see it's a lot of fun. Kind of creative. It's fun if you have family or grandkids in town. A lot of fun for everybody to do. So this is a fun pizza for everybody. Fun flatbread, and again, very creative. So I'm sure my wife likes extra cheese, so here we go. All right, there you go. That is your Heirloom tomato pesto flatbread with basil. The last of our 4 flatbread pizzas, the barbecue chicken pizza. Again, you can use any kind of barbecue sauce that you want. We like Sweet Baby Ray's, but we've used a number of barbecue sauces. This is one of our preferred ones. Again, it's up to you. If you make your own barbecue sauce, great. But again, just like all the other flatbreads, you want to spread that out. You want to leave a little edge on there. Again, if you want a little bit more sauce, you feel free to leave a little bit more sauce. You can see we like a little bit saucier. This gets nice and golden, crispy flatbread, this type of pizza with this barbecue sauce. But there we go. So once we get that taken care of, then what we're going to do, we're going to add the roasted chicken that we bought and that we shredded. And we actually took a roasted chicken and we make salads and sandwiches and, you know, cold chicken sandwiches, etc. But this is also a great way to not have to cook a whole chicken just to do a flatbread. So once we get some roasted chicken on there, then what we're going to do is we're going to throw some raw onions, some raw red onions on there, a little flavor. Again, if you don't like onions, you don't have to put the onions on there. We like onions in our household. So there we go, got a little bit of that. And then what we're going to do, we are going to add some wonderful, fresh, organic cilantro that we got out of our own garden here in the back of our house. So we're trying to do our own garden, own spice garden at least. Some chives and some basil, and again, like I said, there's no wrong or right when you're putting this stuff on your flatbreads. And again, the best thing about these things, man, it's super easy to do. You can prep these in advance, and then you just pop them in the oven at 400, anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes. Watch them. If you like them a little bit crispier or not as well done, then we're going to take some of your nice mozzarella cheese from Wisconsin, and we're going to add it. Again, we're not putting, you can see, we're not putting too much cheese on there. So there we go, your flatbreads. Flatbread. All right, and then last but not least, a little bit of oregano. And there we go. So there is the last of your flatbread. Right there, the barbecue chicken pizza. Here's your first 2 flatbread pizzas using lavash bread. And once again, our first one was your focaccia bread with sea salt, dry rosemary. Again, oven set at 400. Every oven temperature is a little bit different. This one takes anywhere from 8 minutes to 10 minutes. You gotta watch it because with the olive oil it burns pretty fast. But again, the great sharing, it's like a cracker. Great, turns into perfect for when you got lasagna or pastas or you have a cheese board or charcuterie. So there you got your focaccia bread. Then we're going to move over here with your traditional margarita. Little olive oil to finish it off. And again, it's got your homemade tomato paste sauce. Again, with fresh basil and sea salt. Mozzarella, fresh basil, little bit of olive oil at the shot. And again, another pizza. And this one you can cut up into 6 pieces if you want. Again, great for sharing. You can even cut it up to more, it depends. So there you go, you got your margarita and your focaccia bread. There we go. Off to the next. All right, folks, last but not least, your last 2 pizzas was the Heirloom tomato pesto flatbread, and then we had your barbecue chicken flatbread. So once again, if you want to guys check it out, again, depends on how you like your pizzas. If you like them a little bit more well done or crispy, etc. Again, 400 degrees are the ovens, anywhere between 8 to 12 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. And again, look at it, great for sharing, folks. Look at that. Great for sharing. So once we, I know we're respecting social distancing right now, but once we get back into back into shape, again, what a great way to share some pies. Then we got your one here. Again, a lot of people, if you'd like, you can put a shot of olive oil on it if you'd like. Again, another great sharing pie. This is done with your buffalo mozzarella. It's done with your pesto and heirloom tomatoes, fresh basil, a little bit of oregano. So there you go, folks. Look at that. Very nice sharing pie. Oh, with a nice glass of wine. There you go, everybody. Buon appetito, lasagnice italiane. Buonasera a tutti. Thanks everybody. I hope everyone enjoyed this quick little pizza demo, flatbread demo. Hope you guys can enjoy it at home. Everybody have a great evening. On behalf of the BlueStar Resort and Golf team across the U.S., we want to wish you nothing but the best. Stay strong, stay positive, stay energized, stay active. Lifestyle teams are going to try and keep you busy as best as we can. We're all going to pull through this all together, and we're only going to be a stronger community. Everyone have a great evening. We miss you. Take care.